Okay, hi, madam and friends. We from group number two, and this is video record for week six. It's about reflect previous discussion on short story one and two, and then firstly, so let me introduce my group member first, and then first is Muhammad Fazri bin Khalid, J46236. Okay, and then second is Muhammad Zudi bin Yusuf. ID metric is J46233. And then I'm Monica Kiat. ID metric is J46225. And then the next is Sheikh Ahmad Fakrul Razi bin Kasim. The ID metric is J46243. And then the last is Amin Rafiq bin Shori. ID metric is J46230. Okay, let me share my point about reflect previous discussion on short story one and two, and then for me I have enjoyed with two short story. The first short story is about a rabbit and tortoise, and the second short story is different. Okay, two short story that we have choose is good for me, and more teach a lot about life, and then teach about be patient and friendship and mutual respect and move. Okay, from our short story, the in the title rabbit and toys, we can see our life in there. We must be patient and don't judge other people easily, and do not be arrogant. And the most important is we must brave to take a risk, like the toys and rabbit. They have on risk. We also must having humility in ourselves, and the most important thing is we must always be ourselves. And then I have been humiliated at school, but I took that as self motivation, and I slowly changed myself to be the best. And then in short story two, the title is different. Two is a very good story, because the story teach a lot of friendship, which is we getting to know someone is important regardless of perfection, like a dumb girl and another friend we with disabilities can be a good friends after knowing each other background. So the friendship met from them can give us inspiration. So we know all people has its own character, so we have to accept. And the most important is we should be a good, especially in our friendship. Okay, lastly, in this two short story, I would like to say it's good for me and I have enjoyed it. And then for me, uh, um I'm more to short story to the title is different. That's all for me, and then I will pass for my friend share.
Okay, thank you, Monica. Yeah, Assalamualaikum salam salam sejahtera. Okay, for reflecting on our previous discussion on short story one, Turtles and Rabbit, and short story two, difference. There are many values can be found that happen in our daily life. On the short story one, there is a turtle and rabbit. To me, the main point or the main value say is about the attitude. As for short story two, the title is difference, and it is an award-winning story. The overall situation that can be seen to me is about early perception to others, and after having a discussion about the two short story, I enjoyed short story one that is the toys and rabbit. To me, I enjoyed this short story because um, there are many values in that story. the values found in short story one is really happening in our daily life. For example, the rabbit was very proud because no other animals can run faster. This scenario is happening is of office. Some of the young officer is very proud becoming officer. They even look down on the others who may be a clerk, but the clerk may have a highest education than the officer. Uh, and another example that can be seen is that the rabbit was ego and arrogant. This situation also can be seen in office or in daily life. A scenario clear sometimes is ego with a new officer of highest rank because the clerk say that he is a more experienced because he has been working for a long time and expert in that job. And there are some workers in the officer who are patient, does the daily job properly and always be awarded as a best worker. Rabbit lost the race because the rabbit was ego, proud, underestimate others, and the rabbit touch no others. Animal can win the race. In our daily life, uh, having an attitude like being egoistic, feeling proud, underestimate, under value that can make us fail in our daily life. In my opinion, short story one has managed to make me realize the importance to respect others, work as a team, have a positive surrounding, and all these factors will contribute us to be successful in life. Okay, and that's all from me. Um, and next for the member.
Okay, Assalamualaikum and good evening, everyone. Okay, everyone hear me?
Yes, yes, we hear you.
Yeah, because my line is a bit slow tonight. Okay, this week we will discuss about reflection. Okay, my reflection in short story one and two. Okay, first short story one. The title is the tortoise and the hare. Okay, the tortoise and hare are actually good friend and often played together with their other friend, the fox and deer and the other animals. However, one day the hare tells the tortoise that he was always so slow. Okay, then the hare challenged this tortoise. Okay, at the end of the finish line, the tortoise crossed the line before hare. Okay, the second short story is about different. Different is a short story about two person with disabilities and their different method of coping. One is paralyzed but can talk. Another person is mute and deaf. Both expect each other disability service without understanding each other shortcoming. Okay, compare with two short story, I really like then the tortoise and the hare because maybe this short story is more moral and lesson about our life. uh, this tortoise is sorry is have a few different if we search in internet, but general of the story is remain the same. The hare that believing he could never lose to a slow moving creature such as the tortoise. Okay. Uh, this relate to our life and society. These fables are told to relay moral or lesson for all to learn from. Okay, this the takeaway from this state is that slow and steady win the race. Slow and steady also been the name of the victorious tortoise. I love that they are life lesson for both the tortoise and the hare. Both animal learn important life lesson that from that race. Each of us has a bit of the hare and the tortoise in us. Let us learn about this story and this fable. Okay, in this short story, there are two factors that allow to tortoise to win. The first is her negative attitude. His cocky attitude led him to believe he could never lose to the lizard creatures such as the tortoise, and his careless perspective allowed him to believe he could take a nap and still win. The second factor that the tortoise perseverance, he never stopped moving throughout the entire race, even thought the odds were against him. In the end, his hair cocked allowed to the tortoise to win the race. This is reminding us that all that no matter what is true or us, with the positive attitude and drive, we can win in the race. Okay. This encouragement to all of us who think that we are good, not too good at something. Sometimes we must not underestimate ourselves. If we work hard and don't give up, we will succeed. Okay, that's my review about
Okay.
two story. Okay,
Alright.
we will
Thank you,
continue to
Amin.
the next person.
So I will. Okay. Thank you, Amin Rafiq.
All right, welcome.
So for me, for this group discussion 6, which is reflect about our previous discussion on short story 1 and 2. So for me, I would like to share about reflect for the short story 1, which is the short story of a rabbit and tortoise, which tells us the story of two animal, which is the main character is a rabbit and a tortoise. These two main character in this short story, uh, where they are in a running race competition, where the rabbit is everyone know the rabbit is the fastest animal in that short story. The rabbit is being challenged by a tortoise, and at the end of the short story, because of the rabbit overconfident has caused him to bear a losses in the race between him and tortoise. So in this short stories tells us many moral value, although it was a kid's short story. For the our second short story, which is different, where in this short story we can see a miscommunication and misunderstanding of the two main character, which is Emily and Sam, where Emily is a deaf person, and while Sam has a problem with his leg being paralyzed. So because of the difference between them, and they are not know the weakness of each other, the conflict between them happens in this short story, where Emily thinks that Sam is not helping her when she fell in front of Sam and feel disappointed. When she fell, Sam did not help her and just sit on the bench. But then, after a while, she know the weakness of Sam, where he knows Sam is paralyzed from the waist down and cannot stand or walk. So because of this, both have a weakness. After that, when they know each other, when Emily know Sam's weakness, and Sam know Emily weakness, which is Emily is a deaf, and Sam has a paralyzed from the waist down. After both of them know each other weakness, and they started to be friend and can communicate. Sam start to communicate with Emily by writing a note, uh, and at the end they become friends. So both story has a very interesting moral that we can take. But for this discussion, I would like to prefer. I would like to choose the short story one, which is short story Rabbit and Tortoise, because in this short story there are so many moral values that we can get. Although it was a kids a short story, it tells many moral values such as overconfidence can cause losses to us. Arrogance is not a good attitude. Uh, it tells us to be patient, not giving up, and so many moral value. So this short story that I can relate in my life, or I would like to specific it, where I can relate this short story that happened in my workplace surrounding, where there is a person which is Mr. Nazri. I think Nazri. Sorry, I think Mr. Zudi also know this Mr. Nazri. He is now pension from Mada. So Mr. Nazri, I would like to relate his life uh, with this short story, where in his life, starting from the first time he works in the agency, which is Muda Agriculture Development Authority, the short form we call it MADA. He started from grade H11, and because of his passionate and patience, he ended his last grade, which is E41. uh, I think it's a very far achievement in his life. Starting from H11 to 41 is not an easy step, but he
Keep
taking
making.
PJJ in diploma until he takes a degree in business to climb up from H11 to E41. I really respect this person with his passion and patience to improve his level of grade in MADA. Slowly, but at the end, he get what he wants. And now he has pension from MADA. So that's all that I can share with you guys for this group discussion. I will pass to our last member, which is Mr. Zudi.
Hi, Assalamualaikum and good evening. Just a short review on short story 2 titled Difference. This story comes with a great message that despite our differences, we can all still live in a world where we can work together for the greater good. From the video, from the story, we can see it was great to use a reflection on cultural diversity and how we can reflect on being kind and showing our difference doesn't change who we are. This video is giving this story. This story is giving a very important message. It talks about the fact that we are all different and we must be empathetic. Okay. So when living with others, and it also talks about what matters more what's inside than what's outside. The message from the story is people are different in ways you may not at first understand. When you assume people are mean, then you are often mistaken. Okay, direct to our topic discussion. Without hesitation, I choose short story one, which is a tortoise and the rabbit race. This is a story I enjoy to watch, even though the story are cartoon and fairy tales. The story is full of lessons. Although I suggest a story title different for short story two, but when we do a group assessment on the characters and plot that can be seen in the story, Tortoise and the Rabbit Race story give me more enjoyment. This is because there are many things that we can learn through the storyline, plot, and character on the of the character itself, and can relate in our daily life. For example, we can see clearly there is no way the tortoise can win the race with rabbit. It was a race by using leg, not swimming race. So, so I'm okay and not surprised if the tortoise win the swimming race. And of course, I'm surprised if the rabbit win the swimming race with the tortoise. Okay, enough on that. So back to our discussion. The impossible winning by tortoise. This is a sign that telling us nothing is impossible in this world. And the moral of the story: don't underestimate other and don't overconfident, because overconfident only brings harm to ourselves. The rabbit already showed us an example. This is a factor that allowed the tortoise to win the race because of the rabbit negative attitude. His arrogant attitude led him to believe he could never lose to a lesser creature such as the tortoise, and his careless perspective allowed him to believe he could take a nap and still win. And we can also learn about the tortoise perseverance. He never stopped moving throughout the entire race, even though the odds were against him. In the end, his perseverance and the rabbit's arrogant attitude allowed the tortoise to win the race, reminding us all that no matter what is thrown at us, with a positive attitude and drive, we can win. Of course, we need to have a confident attitude to face the challenge of everyday life, especially in work, relationship, and life management. But not to be overconfident because it only brings worth more than good. So, in our real life situation, if we want to be successful, it is not necessary to have only physical intelligence and strength. The most important thing is the attitude. Arrogant attitude only cause forgetfulness. We easily forget and become arrogant because we are too proud and feel that we are already great at everything. I think this story is significant to my daily life because too many moral value in our life now. For example, people overestimate how quickly they can do work and underestimate how long it takes them to get things done, especially for complicated tasks. Business people constantly underestimate how long a project will take to complete. If we look around us, we can actually identify who is the overconfident person. Overconfident person are usually loud and noisy. They speak loudly and forcefully to prove their point. They always seek validation from outside. Even after receiving the approval from others, they experience emptiness inside them. What happens when we are overconfident? Being overconfident can lead to losing money from poor investing decisions, losing the trust of people who rely on you, or wasting time on an idea that will never work. So that's all for me. So, oh, I just Google from my phone. Some rabbits enjoy swimming and some don't. So rabbit can swim actually. So, rabbit can swim, but for their safety, it doesn't recommend not to make them swim in anything deeper than a foot of water. So, so for me, if a swimming race, tortoise will win. So in a race by using a leg, so the rabbit will win. But in this story, tortoise win against the rabbit.
Yeah.
So that's all for me. Thank you. Anything you want to add, please?
Okay. Thank you. I'm attracted with Mr. Zuhdi uh, point where if tortoise lost in the swimming race with a rabbit, maybe we will it will be a little bit shocked, right? I think everyone has give and choose the short story rabbit and tortoise, right? Because in this short story uh, give so many and tell us so many moral value. So I think anyone against my point that we are all agreed to pick this short story rabbit and tortoise as our winner for for our discussion.
So about short story, yeah. I think the
Yes.
same too.
So I think that's all. I think everyone have give
Yeah.
a very good explanation and a good example that relate to everyone life, right?
Yeah,
So
Yes.
both short story have its own moral value, but everyone agree to choose rabbit and tortoise because it has many moral value that we can learn from this short story. So I think that's all from for our group discussion 6.
okay.
uh, I think this is the end for our short story time for our subject Lex, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
As we know, but
yeah.
we doesn't know, we don't know yet.
Oh yeah. So okay, all right. That's all for this discussion,
Discussion, yeah.
Yes.
and see you if there is another story time.
Yeah. Thank you. See
Okay,
you.
all right. Thank you, everyone.
Okay,
See
Bye
you.
thank you
bye.
very
Thank you,
much.
everyone.
Thank
Okay,
you.
Yes,
bye bye.
Bye.
thank you. Bye.
No, no.